Hey. Hey everyone. Hey, how are you? Welcome. The AC is really like cold in here, so I'm gonna go fast. Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Jackson. I'm the Executive Director for Bridge Over Troubled Waters, a long-term provider of housing and support services for youth at risk and for youth who are experiencing homelessness. We are thrilled and welcome to have the everyone, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I was like, I'm gonna be here all night. Please don't take it disrespectful. Thank you to have everyone. HUD Deputy Assistant Secretary of Special Needs, the Mayor, and the Wi-Fi Consultant Group that is here as well. Friends and supporters, and all of you who care about preventing and ending youth homelessness. We are grateful for the opportunity to host this event and for what this special announcement will mean to the city of Boston. And now, let me turn it to our Y5 member and MC, Jamila.
Hi, everybody. So, good evening. My name is Jamila Bradley. I am the co-facilitator of the Boston Youth Action Board and a proud member of the Y5 consulting team. Today is awesome. We have so much to be grateful for in the city of Boston. Everybody in this room is a part of sort of the incredible opportunity that we are about to pounce on with teeth out. It feels, I think, surreal. There were so many moments during the YHDP process, from our initial meeting where we sort of kicked off the work, beginning sort of feeling activated around this idea that we might win, and then sort of getting into the work and being like, wow, this is so much. We're gonna keep doing this even if we don't win. And then getting to the point as a community of being like, we have to do this, and winning doesn't even matter anymore. We have to go through this process together in order to create a coordinated system where young people in Boston are just never have a wrong door. I want to thank HUD for being here and for offering us this incredible opportunity as a community and awarding us the YHDP. I want to thank our funders, our homeless service providers, education, child welfare, the state, the Boston YAB, who is scattered throughout this room right now. Our physical and behavioral health partners, our justice and law enforcement, affordable housing, our communities of faith, and so many others. The list would be too long. What we've been doing over the past year has been remarkable. We have taken some of the strongest providers, some of the strongest agencies, and some of the strongest advocates and members of the youth system, from the young people experiencing homelessness to anybody and everybody surrounding this issue, to come together to really build a system that works for young people. We have a sense of urgency, we have a sense of pride in our work, and we have a dedicated commitment to our values as a community to end youth homelessness, to make sure that every young person in the city of Boston has a safe and stable place to live. In that process, we have broken out all the expertise. Some of it's represented in this room, some of it outside this room, into committees. We have our funders committee, which is incredible, busting our barriers and helping us find the dollars to support some of these innovative and creative solutions that we're developing. We have our executive committee, so the decision makers that are able to sort of kick down the doors and kick down those barriers for us at the program and the higher system levels. We have a data committee, our community engagement committee, our prevention and intervention, which we've broken out into the 4 outcomes we hope to achieve for our young people: health and well-being, education, employment, permanent connections, and housing. And together, we have made a promise to end youth homelessness in the city of Boston. I want to thank everyone so much for being here. This is truly a moment in a movement. This is the hard work of people that didn't give up when it was 10, 11 years ago and nobody cared about this issue and there was no momentum, and it was just, you know, people with boots on the ground being like, what are we going to do about this? Racking their brains in coffee shops and in their offices and on the walks to the train. And I want to thank the young people that have tirelessly put themselves, their hearts, their experience, and their expertise into this work. So thank you all. And with that, I'd like to introduce Jameen Bryan, the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Special Needs at HUD.
What amazing energy to follow. That's amazing. Thank you for the introduction. And good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity. I want to recognize and thank you, Mayor Walsh, for your outstanding leadership in the city of Boston and the entire city of Boston. Ms. Sheila Dillon, Lila Bernstein, your innovative work and your commitment to increasing affordable housing and ending homelessness is making a difference. Thank you. I also want to thank Elizabeth Jackson, Ms. Dynamo, and the Bridge Over Troubled Waters team, not only for hosting us today, but giving me just sort of an amazing tour of your facilities. It's incredibly impressive, and thank you for the great work. Thank you all for all that you do, especially all the partners and the youth in the room, for everything you do every day to advance the ending of homelessness, and especially the ending of homelessness for youth in the city of Boston. To our young people here today, you are the reason we are here today. I'm thrilled to announce an important new investment in our common cause to confront and ultimately eliminate youth homelessness. But maybe more importantly, we come together today to make a common statement about this problem of youth homelessness. We do not accept young people living on the streets or living in shelters. We do not. Consider, if you will, if your family was impacted by homelessness. It is not something that we should allow, and without the systems of care that we all need to thrive and become successful, we must make a difference for the youth. Young people experiencing unsheltered homelessness, or young people who come into our shelter system, are often victims of abuse, disconnected from their families, or aging out of foster care. Their needs are different than other populations, and so we're always looking for innovative new approaches that are targeted to the unique challenges of youth homelessness. Simply put, young people, our most precious resource, who struggle to call a place home, need us. So today, we further commit ourselves to develop and sustain a system of care that offers real solutions for young people, ending their homelessness, or better yet, preventing it from occurring in the first place. That is why I'm very pleased to announce the award of $4.9 million to help Boston do that. Best part of my job, just announcing money. Love it. HUD, back to the notes. HUD's Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program supports a wide range of housing interventions, including rapid rehousing, permanent supportive housing, transitional housing, and host homes. But folks in Washington won't be designing these interventions. You will. The community will. This is just the second year of this program. And from the very start, we knew for it to be successful, young people needed to lead and be at the table. To ensure YHDP program meets the needs of young people, HUD relied upon the recommendations of young people who experienced homelessness to design this program, to evaluate the applications, to tell us what we need to do differently the next time. Their input, their lived experience, helped ensure that the communities selected for these awards understand the needs and preferences of the young people they will serve. HUD also worked closely with its federal partners at the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Education, and the United States Interagency Council on Homelessness to help develop this program and to review the applications. We selected 11 communities, including 5 rural communities, among more than 100 who applied for these funds. And we selected them because the 11 communities, like many of you who are here today, understand that we can't do this alone. And so, you collaborate with a broad array of partners, including young people and public child welfare agencies. The city of Boston was selected through this very competitive process based on its high ability to demonstrate the capacity to develop and implement a coordinated community approach to preventing and ending youth homelessness. In the coming months, we look forward to reviewing the community-based plan you will develop so we can begin to put the money to work. And that work is the goal of ending youth homelessness here in Boston. My team and I stand ready to offer you, to be with you, and help you achieve success. Congratulations to everyone here today. Thank you for making youth homelessness a priority and in taking steps to lead the charge. Congratulations, Boston.
Thank you so much. We are really excited. So I know everybody in the room knows this, but this is Boston. And if you look around this room at all the faces here, you see different socioeconomic backgrounds. You see queer people, you see people of color, you see people with different abilities, different histories, different stories. And for our young people, we know that we need to create a system and a plan that's just as dynamic and creative and culture-rich and powerful as they are. Boston is a place that has decided to roll up its sleeves as a community and say, we're not doing this anymore. We're not walking by young people on the street. We're not walking by young people outside the train. We're not walking by young people that are out there in the wintertime with nowhere to live. It's just not happening. And the idea that everybody in this room, from funders to elected officials, folks at the state level, our young people, and our service providers have come together in this one mission to say no in unison with all the expertise we have is an incredible, incredible thing. I just want to say congratulations to Boston, which is really congratulations to everyone in this room. Yes, claps for everybody. This was competitive. This was a competitive process. And to quote one of our YAB members, it's a bit like the Hunger Games. It's a bit like the Hunger Games and we won. And that feels really good, but it's also important to remember the larger communities that are still going to be pushing forward in this effort and consider them our partners even from afar. The mayor in Boston is someone that we're lucky to have, in that our mayor has been talking openly about this issue and making sure it has the political momentum it needs for a really long time. We never had to pitch this to Marty. We never had to sell this. So I'm really excited and proud to welcome Mayor Marty Walsh to the mic.
Thank you. This is an exciting day here in Boston, and I want to thank Assistant Secretary Brian for being here. It is a great day when you can announce money, and I appreciate that. It's always puts a smile on everyone's face. And I want to thank all our partners. I want to thank our federal partners that are in the room today, and I also want to thank our local partners. We have many people here. City Councilor Anisha Sabi George is with us. City Councilor Eddie Flynn is with us. Thank you very much for your support. We have representatives from Senator Warren's office. Thank you for being here with us. And we have Danny Lynch from Congressman Steve Lynch's office. I want to thank you. Our own team inside City Hall. Sheila Dillon was already mentioned once today. You know, she does amazing things. Lila Bernstein, who does incredible things when it comes to homelessness. I'm going to talk about both of them in a minute. Marty Martinez, Chief of Health and Human Services. All of you, thank you. The woman who runs this incredible organization, Elizabeth Jackson, I didn't even know what to say about her. I've had the chance now to know her before I was a mayor, but really get a chance to work with her every single day. And the young people that are here, thank you, and thank you for everything you do every single day for our young people. And to all the young people here, thank you as well for fighting and pushing and fighting and doing what you do in a positive way. The little guy here, thank you for keeping us happy today with his comments. On any given night, there are over 360 kids on the streets or in shelters in Boston. More people living in unsafe and unacceptable living conditions. That's just not acceptable. Not acceptable in our city. We've made ending youth homelessness a top priority here in the city of Boston, working collectively. Last year we put $1.2 million in the BPS budget to help students that are facing homelessness. This year we're investing $130,000 in a consulting team to develop a community plan to tackle the issue, and that's with the organizations that are already here. So it's not like it's only $130,000, it's $130,000 on top of all the other great work that's being done in our city. In 2018, for a second year in a row, we've invested in Boston's Youth Action Board, a $35,000 investment there. We know the experience that strategic plans work. As the Assistant Secretary talked about, this plan that we're talking about today is driven by the young people. And it's important that the young people, you're the ones who can tell us how to best tackle the issue. And it's our job to make sure that the resources are available and that the plans are in place to help what we want to accomplish here in the city of Boston. In 2015, we released a plan to end chronic veterans homelessness in the city. In 2014, actually 16, we housed, up to 2016, we housed over 800 chronically homeless veterans in the city of Boston. Those are people that were living on the street, living on Boston Common behind me, living on the grates up by Ashburton, living outside the Boston Public Library, and we were able to get chronic homeless veterans in the living space. Also, on top of that number, we've been able to house 550 chronically homeless people in the city of Boston. These are folks that didn't have a place to go, and it's important for us that we continue to move forward. And think about that. As we do that, we have more work to do, but we laid a foundation that we can do that if we really want to. This investment, $4.9 million, I want to thank HUD. I want to thank our state partners. I want to thank our private funders. I want to thank all the people that made this possible. This is not an easy award to get. You don't just apply and all of a sudden the money's there. What you do, you have to work together, and showing the importance of how we want to tackle this issue. Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program is a great partner in helping us tackle the problem around our country. Now we have significant federal funds to support what we're doing here with housing services and service resources necessary to reach those goals. I forget who said it to me before, but the challenges that our young people and anyone facing homelessness has sometimes might seem daunting to the average person. But it's about survival, and I think having this program with all the other programs that we're working on, all the other issues we're working on, is going to make a tremendous difference here in the city. And we can be the city in America that could actually end youth homelessness in America. And a lot of when we took up the challenge in 2015 to end veterans homelessness in America and in Boston, when I pledged to sign, when I signed the pledge saying we're in, I got back to the office and I'm like, how are we going to do this? And a whole bunch of people, including homeless vets, got in a room, and they started talking about what they needed and the service they needed. So it's not just simply finding a home; it's making sure the wraparound service is there, so the people that are coming off the street, dealing with the trauma that they experience in their life and on the street, they can deal with it. That's what we have to do. And we're able to accomplish that here in the city. And there's no reason, no question in my mind that we can't do the same thing here in Boston. We need every part of the community involved, and it's not just about providing housing. As I mentioned earlier, it's about providing educational opportunities, employment, healthcare services. All of those things are important so we can get people on their feet and they can have successful lives as they move forward. We will call on our youth workers. We're going to call on our healthcare providers, our educators, our landlords, our law enforcement officials, all of the people to help us with a system that's a positive system that moves forward and works. Everyone in this room and everyone in our city has a role to play. For too long, this issue has been an invisible one. It's been invisible to the average general public. And people kind of just look and see something and say, that's too bad, and they keep driving their car and they keep moving along. It's no longer what we have to do with. I talk to a lot of young people struggling with homelessness. I can tell you one thing about them: they're all strong people, and they're amazing people who believe in a better life, and they need to get their lives back, and that's what we need to do. We need to make sure, and this grant offers that opportunity to get their life back. Now I have the pleasure of introducing a friend of mine, Stephanie Ford, a great youth, I'm not done yet, a great youth advocate on the issue. I had the pleasure of meeting her back in April as a member of the Boston's Youth Action Board and sits on the executive committee of the planning process. She'll tell you about Boston's strategic plan to end youth homelessness in the city, but also what's amazing about her is that she's not afraid to tell her story. So let's hear it up for my friend Stephanie.
So hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Ford. I've been experiencing homelessness for the past 10 years. But I was very lucky to find out that Boston started the YAB, which is a youth action board that started about 18 months ago. And, you know, when they first came, they talked about being homeless and how we're going to stop it. And it seemed like complete bullshit, to be honest. Like, no, this has been a problem forever. How are you going to stop it? But in the last 18 months, they've kind of grown together. They've gotten the youth more involved. They made us believe in them. And then other groups got involved with us, like D&D, and they said, you know, now we're gonna move forward with a better plan. We're gonna get you guys involved. We're gonna make sure people hear your voice, people hear your story, people know that you're a person. You're not just, oh, well, there's youth homeless. Okay, what is that? You know, when somebody steps forward and says, hi, my name is Stephanie and I've been homeless, that becomes a bigger issue because now I'm no longer an idea, I am a person. Now I am somebody that you see, that you hear, and you say, nope, this person needs housing. You know, and when we started working with the city, I was actually one of the only ones to show up to the first meeting, which was really awkward. But we did get more people involved, and people are definitely starting to step up to the problem and starting to realize that this is an actual problem. And give me a moment, I'm sorry. But being a part of this group, I've noticed a lot of us have gotten our voices back. We've gotten our strength back. We've gotten our hope and our belief back. Because for a while, I didn't believe in the system. I didn't believe, you know, in Boston housing. And you watch so many people get housed, and you're like, well, how did they make it and I didn't? How did I slip through the crack? What happened? Who wasn't talking to me? Who wasn't hearing me? But now everybody hears me, and everybody hears every person they walk by. You know, we're no longer silent about the problem. This isn't a silent issue anymore. This is in your face, and we're asking you guys to deal with it. And I appreciate so much that so many of y'all have stepped up and really treated this like a real problem. And I'm really happy to be a part of the solution, stepping up and being actual. People hear my voice now. For the first time, I got to facilitate a focus group. I got to be a part of something and be in charge. And the feeling I had when I walked out of there to know that no longer am I just somebody that's a youth homeless. I'm actually advocating for myself, and I get to advocate for other people, and people know my name, and it's an amazing feeling to know people care. If you literally look around and look at how many people are in this room, how many of these people can actually commit to a cause, it's amazing. You know, and I just want to really thank you guys for being a part of this. And I want to thank the City of Boston for creating the Youth Action Board, and I want to thank Jamila and Lauren and Ayala for coming in here and promising us that we could do better, for looking at us more than just being somebody that's homeless. You know, and I appreciate D&D for stepping in and helping us. And sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but I'll be okay. And I really hope that, you know, we get to do a lot with this money, and we get to show other people that we're doing something, anything, and that we get to better our programs and better our people. And with that being said, I hope to see a better change, and I want to thank you guys for your time.
Sorry, I was looking over at my co-MC. She tells me what to do, so it's like, it's your turn. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Assistant Byron, for being here. Thank you, Mayor, for being here. What a fantastic announcement. I want to go, but I know I won't do that right now. Of support. I can't see these lights. Bridge and many other organizations in the city, as well as corporate partners such as Liberty Mutual Insurance, has been helping youth who are experiencing homelessness for a long time. Now that we are excited to have our work recognized and expanded upon sorry, I can't see. Excited to have our work recognized and expanded upon so that we as a city can help more youth who are in need. Homeless youth do not fit the stereotypical profile of homelessness, and unfortunately, they can become an invisible and underserved population. Today, with this announcement and the infusion of resources specifically to serve homeless youth and young adults that will change, and we will begin to make it stronger, expand, and coordinate a system to ensure that youth homelessness will be rare, brief, and non-recurring. On behalf of our board and 2,000 youth that we see a year, our staff, and our sponsors, we know and thank you for being here. We know that the services designed for homeless adults are not the right services for youth experiencing homelessness. We know that homelessness youth need our support and our assistance, but we do know that they have enormous strength, as you saw here, enormous energy, as you saw here. With the right support and system, these young people will realize their potential and build self-sufficient and productive lives. All of us at Bridge are looking forward to partnering with the City of Boston and all of you to develop and implement the plan to achieve this goal. You're welcome to stay. I know it's a little hot in here. Refreshments were provided by Liberty Mutual. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you.